Who will be the head coach of the Tennessee Titans in 2026? That's the question we'll be asking for the next couple of months after Brian Callahan was fired yesterday. I got a couple of replacements that I think could be prime head coaching candidates for the Titans team. So before we get into it, let me know down in the comments section who you will think be the head coach of the Titans next season. Welcome into Titans Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper, and I have not 5, I have 6 head coaching candidates that could be in the running for the Titans head coaching job next offseason. Some of these guys are head coaches, some of these guys are offensive coordinators, and some of these guys are defensive coordinators. But let's start off with one guy who I think is going to be a prime candidate going into the offseason. He's been a head coach before, and that is Kliff Kingsbury. We know that Kliff Kingsbury has been all over the place. He was at USC, he's worked with Caleb Williams, and he was also with the Arizona Cardinals working with Kyler Murray. He has a history of working with good quarterbacks. But now, as he lost his job with Arizona, he went to Washington, and you see how good their offense is. So you kind of think, okay, well, he's going to be a prime candidate to be part of what could be a very good offense with the emergence of Cam Ward, with a first overall pick. And I was looking at a couple articles in CBS Sports. They had him as one of the prime candidates to be a head coach. Here's what they had to say. His unique up-tempo offense ranked top 7 in both yards per game, 369.6, and points per game, 28.5 in 2024. Kingsbury's also been a head coach before. Like I said, he led the Arizona Cardinals from 2019 to 2022. He improved Arizona's win total every single year, going from 5-10-1 to 8-8 to eventually 11-6, but was let go after a disastrous 4-13 campaign in 2022. Overall, the 46-year-old coach has gone 28, 37, and 1 as the lead man. Consistency is a question when it comes to Kingsbury, but he will be aboard the coaching carousel this offseason. And honestly, when I look at what he's done, what he did with Caleb Williams at USC, what he did with Kyler Murray with the Arizona Cardinals, because Kyler Murray doesn't look that great as he once did before, and now what he's doing with Jaden Daniels, I could just imagine in my head just the offense that he would be able to run and explode Cam Ward into what he should be, what we saw at Miami, and give him to his full potential. And I think Kliff Kingsbury will be one of the top guys. But there's also another guy on the list that I'm looking at, and I think he is a prime offensive coordinator, one of the top guys in the NFL at play calling, and it's Joe Brady with the Buffalo Bills. And it's kind of the same exact type of coaching candidate as Kliff Kingsbury. He's your offensive guy. He's worked with Joe Burrow. He was with the Carolina Panthers for a couple years, and then he went to Buffalo and absolutely just took over that Buffalo offense, and it became one of the number 1 in the NFL. Me personally, I think this is his first time being a head coaching candidate. He hasn't been a head coach before, and he's going to be the number 1 target in the offseason. People have their kind of skeptics, kind of questions about Kliff Kingsbury if he can be a head coach because of what he did with the Arizona Cardinals. But Joe Brady, the questions are all out there on, oh, well, maybe he should be a head coach. He could be one of those prime guys. Kind of think last year with Ben Johnson. That is Joe Brady in 2026 offseason. That's going to be your number 1 guy that you're going to be think of. And when you look at what he's done with the Bills offense, it has absolutely thrived with his play calling. And he makes Josh Allen look like he took Josh Allen to an MVP season. So he is going to be one of those prime guys. And when you're looking at head coaches, you think, what can they do with Cam Ward? And that's why this job for the Tennessee Titans is going to be one of the most kind of desired spots in the NFL offseason this year. I talked about 2 offensive coordinators that are going to be looked at as candidates, probably get an interview for this job. But let's go to a defensive coordinator that I think should probably get another chance at a head coaching job, and that's Brian Flores. Now, we do talk about his kind of stuff with the NFL that went on throughout the last couple of years when he was with the Dolphins. We know about his relationship kind of soured with Tua, and that's why he didn't really get another head coaching job before. But overall, I think that he's proven himself as one of those guys that should get another spot in the NFL. The one big question that I have with Brian Flores is, can he mesh with Cam Ward? Is that going to work? He is not your offensive guy. And Cam Ward, he's kind of your loudmouth kind of talker. We heard it in today's article posted by The Athletic that he said, once I figure out this NFL thing, that the league should be on effing watch. Yeah, that's a direct quote from Cam Ward. Is Brian Flores going to be okay with that type of stuff from his quarterback? That's a question to ask. But I think with what he's done with this Vikings offense or Vikings defense, that he's earned his shot at head coach. The Vikings defense is one of the best in the NFL. And right now, with their quarterback situation, with how hurt Carson Wentz is after J.J. McCarthy's gotten hurt, they're still one of the best teams solely because of their defense. And when you look at their stats, it's unbelievable. 289 yards per game, which is sixth in the NFL. They're locking down pass protectors. Rushing yards, yeah, it's a little bit iffy, but they're averaging less than 20 points per game. They're allowing less than 20 points per game, which is fifth. And then their third down percentage. All of that is in the top 10 except for rushing yards. And you look at that, and it's thanks to Brian Flores and the play calling that he does on defense. Me personally, though, if I'm going with the Titans, I want an offensive guy. I want someone that is going to be able to work with Cam Ward. But we'll have to see. I think that Flores would also be a great spot for this team. When the Titans do make a head coaching hire, it's not going to be anytime soon. If you guys saw the video I posted yesterday, Mike McCoy will be your interim head coach for the season. But all season long, we have full coverage of the Tennessee Titans coaching search. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that sub button if you want up to date and stay informed with everything with the coaching search. We're going to get to 3 more candidates that I think could be possibly go for the head coaching job of the Tennessee Titans. But first, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every single day, but when you do it on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. You can now follow other PrizePicks players directly on the app and copy their lineup in one single click. Whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like, hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on PrizePicks. I made a lineup for this weekend's game, and you know that basketball season is right around the corner. So PrizePicks is giving us a max discount with Steph Curry. Just needs 1 point. And also, I think it's going to be a high-passing game on Sunday with Tennessee against New England. Give me the less on both Ramondre Stevenson and Tony Pollard. You can make a lineup just like that one when you download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you place your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Back to the head coaching candidates. Now, these next 2 guys, they both have ties with the Tennessee Titans, and CBS also reported that these are going to be prime candidates that you should be on the lookout for as we get closer to the offseason, and these guys for sure will get an interview. And the first one we're going to talk about is Arthur Smith. And why is Arthur Smith kind of one of those prime guys? Well, he's been with the Titans before. Obviously, you can see by the picture, he was with the Tennessee Titans organization a long time. And when it was the golden age of the Titans, sounds like it was a decade ago, but it was only 4 years ago that the Titans were the 1 seed in the NFL, and 6 years ago when they were the when they made it to the AFC Championship game. Hopefully, one of these new coaches can bring them back to relevancy in the NFL. But for Arthur Smith, 10 years in the Titans organization from 2011 to 2020. He kind of just climbed the ranks over and over and over. And then when they made it to the AFC Championship game, when they decided to bench Marcus Mariota for Ryan Tannehill, he was the offensive coordinator calling plays and took them to the AFC Championship game. He also was the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons from 2021 to 2023. Now, he did not really kind of get them to really relevancy. He kind of was iffy on that, but overall, he does a pretty decent job with the Steelers, I guess. My personal take is I'm out on him. I don't think Arthur Smith is a good enough head coach for this. He doesn't really bring that culture that the Tennessee Titans need, and the play calling really just doesn't impress me. I don't watch Steelers games, and I don't think of them as like, wow, this offense is incredible. It's kind of your generic type offense. I don't look at it be like Ben Johnson's offense. I don't look at it like Liam Cohen's offense down in Jacksonville. Nothing really spikes to me where I'm like, oh, yes, Arthur Smith should 100% be the head coach. Now, on the other hand, for the other guy that has ties to Tennessee, Matt Nagy, that'd be a little different story. He's currently the offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs, and you see by his picture and by Arthur Smith's picture that they were both head coaches. Matt Nagy was the head coach of the Chicago Bears for a little while, but the last couple seasons and the last good seasons, he's been the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, working with Patrick Mahomes, winning Super Bowls. And also, like I said, that he also has ties to the Tennessee Titans. Well, he has ties not to the actual organization, but he has ties to one of the main guys that makes decisions now in Tennessee, and that's Mike Borgonzi. When he was in Kansas City, he was working with Mike Borgonzi. He was the offensive coordinator in Kansas City for 2 Super Bowls, a Super Bowl champion when they won back-to-back. So obviously he knows how to call plays. He knows how to call plays. He's the head coach of the Chicago Bears. He was the head coach of Chicago Bears 2018 through 2021. If there's one guy that's going to be an offensive coordinator transitioning back to getting a second chance and being a head coach, this one just makes the most sense. It makes too much sense. You already are good friends with Mike Borgonzi, working back in Kansas City. You see the big play caller. You see Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl, and your eyes open up wide. Why did Tennessee Titans hire Mike Borgonzi as their general manager? They saw, hey, 2 Super Bowls, Patrick Mahomes, eyes open up wide. It just makes sense that Matt Nagy, if he's going to get a second chance at being a head coach, that he is going to be the one. But there's one final guy on this list, and I think he should be at the top, and that's why I saved it the best for last, and it's the free agent head coach. It's the guy that took the year off, and it's Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy is by far my number one option that I would go with out of any other head coach. He is the safest and solid hire that you could make for the Tennessee Titans. And you look at what he's done over the past couple of years. Yeah, he was with the Green Bay Packers for I don't know how long, and he took them to a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl, and it was kind of over with him and Aaron Rodgers. Then he went to Dallas with the Cowboys, and he took that offense from here and elevated it to here. He's an offensive-minded and established head coach, and I think it'd be perfect for this Titans team. They need to bring back that Mike Vrabel type culture because they did not have that with Brian Callahan. Mike McCarthy brings the culture. He also brings a good offense with him. And I think you can unleash that with Cam Ward, with the offense that you're soon going to build around going forward. And he can take any team and bring them from here to here. And oh yeah, we talked about the ties with Matt Nagy and Mike Borgonzi. Well, Mike McCarthy has ties with Chad Brinker. When they were in Green Bay, Chad Brinker was also in Green Bay, so they know each other pretty well. I really, really, really think that their eyes are specifically looking at Mike McCarthy over any other candidate. Because after the failure with Brian Callahan and the Titans, how they were like, oh, we got this offensive genius that they want to call, specifically with Callahan, what he did with the Cincinnati Bengals, I think they want to go with an experienced head coach over a coordinator. I don't think they want to take a chance on anybody that gives a second chance or hasn't been a head coach before. Get your established guy that's going to work well, and you know what you're getting. That's what you're going to get with the Tennessee Titans. I think that's what Amy Adams Strunk wants to do, and I think that's what Mike Borgonzi and Chad Brinker want to do for this team. So I'll ask you guys before we get on out of here. Would you want the Tennessee Titans to hire Mike McCarthy as head coach? Do you want him to be the next head coach of the Titans? Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no down in the comment section. It's going to be a long process. We're only in week 7 of the NFL. Mike McCoy is going to have the next couple of weeks, the next 11 weeks to figure out what to do with this team. And if he does great, I mean, he could be one of the candidates. But we got you covered here on Titans today, and that's why you subscribe to the channel. So make sure you hit that sub button. And as always, tighten up.